Welcome back. I am on the road again, heading to the dentist yet again. What are we going to talk about today? Today, we are going to talk about cardio. Should you be doing it? What about if you're in the off season? What about if you are not in the off season? What if you're cutting? Should you do cardio? How much cardio should you do? A lot to cover here. So, should you be doing cardio? I think the question we should all ask ourselves is, do you want a heart attack? And if the answer to that is yes, then do not do cardio. Maybe go smoke some cigarettes. But I'm kind of joking here. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for you. So with all of my athletes, at a pretty much bare minimum, we have them doing 4 sessions a week of 20 minutes. That's like bare minimum. I don't like to go below that. You might be like, but Mr. Bodybuilding Vegan, I'm skinny. I don't need to do cardio. Yeah, you probably still do. You probably just need to eat more and do the cardio. So I did have a client, shout out you rock, dude. She's a bikini competitor, and she asked, hey, should I be doing cardio while I'm bulking? Isn't this just like counterintuitive? Don't I just need to eat more? And so I'm going to answer that question first and then dive into a little bit more of cardio in general. So, yes, when you're bulking, you still want to do cardio for a few reasons. One, it's going to keep your insulin sensitivity better. What that means is when you take in carbs, your body is going to be better able to use those carbs to do things such as fueling your muscles, fueling your workouts, and not storing them as fat. So that's the first reason. Second reason, this is for bodybuilding, I guess it could count for anybody, but if you train hard, powerlifter, bodybuilder, whatever, and you do a hard set of squats, let's say, or leg press, you're going to be much better off if you've got a good cardio base. Because a set of 15 or 20 on leg press or squats, that's fucking hard. And if your heart kind of is the limiting factor here, then you're limiting how big your legs can grow simply because you're not doing cardio. So that's kind of like, if we're bulking, should we be doing cardio? Yes, the answer is still yes. I'm going to do my best to read questions. I am maybe driving. If you do climbing, Austin, I still think, even for something like rock climbing, there are benefits to doing cardio, and you could set it up based on how you need to do that. I know climbing is a bit more upper body intensive, so if you're a rock climber, arm wrestler, somebody that just uses mostly upper body, we're still probably going to want to move around and use our legs for some things. Maybe do like more hit-based cardio, because for your sport, if you do rock climbing, I guess it depends. There are some people that climb like straight up mountains. They might need more endurance style cardio. But if you mostly have shorter bursts of activity, then doing some high intensity interval training would be a good spot, in my opinion, as a coach, for that application. More from a body composition standpoint, yes, we're still going to do cardio in the off season. And I've had a lot of people come to me over the years and say, hey, I don't do any cardio, I'm in the off season, I'm already having enough trouble eating as is. And I say, that's why you're going to add cardio. And they look at me like I'm crazy or I didn't hear them. But cardio can raise our appetite. So if you're bulking, been bulking for a while, you don't really have an appetite, throwing in some cardio might help jack that appetite up. Cardio also helps with digestion. So you could program your cardio, instead of doing 30 minutes post-workout or 30 minutes in the morning, you could go for like a 10-minute walk after breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or after meals 1, 3, and 5. That way you're still getting some of those benefits of the movement. That's I guess another segue. When we do cardio, it does help with digestion. It does help with soreness as well. If your legs are super sore because you just destroyed a leg day, the worst thing you can do is go sit on the couch for 5 hours. All that blood is just going to stagnate in your legs. We're not going to be able to flush out the lactic acid, have new nutrient-dense blood flow back into that area. So when I was in the police academy, we used to do like CrossFit style cardio. and it would be anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes of like bodyweight squats, running, push-ups. And I tell you what, the day after a leg day, I never wanted to go do 250 bodyweight squats and then run 2 miles backwards. But that's what CrossFit was. That's what I had to do. And it was so interesting. I was hardly ever sore. Even when pushing really hard in the gym, still almost never sore. So something to consider if you are dealing with a lot of soreness. Add some cardio and some functional movement back in. Now, what are the types of cardio? What do I recommend? I personally like more low intensity, steady state. I get on the bike, I get on the treadmill, I just go. I used to watch Netflix. I watched the entire That 70s Show during a prep. That was my show for that prep. Now I just work. I respond to clients the whole time I do cardio. I'm currently at 5 sessions of 25 minutes fasted each week. It's just a good way to start my day. It kind of is like, I wake up, I don't really want to do it, but I start my day with something kind of hard, something challenging, and then the rest of the day feels easier. So there's mindset reasons, there's physiological reasons like insulin sensitivity, there's body composition reasons to do cardio. Low intensity steady state is good because it doesn't really take away from your recovery in the same way that like a CrossFit style or a high intensity interval training would. So you can do lots of low intensity steady state and not really accrue a whole bunch of stress. Now if you're getting into a contest prep situation and you're doing an hour a day of low intensity steady state on top of training, then it is likely that there is going to be some stress involved there. But that is just kind of the nature of contest prep. But for a regular person, you could more than likely add on some low intensity steady state to whatever you're doing right now, even just counting steps, and not have your recovery be impacted negatively. It might even increase your recovery. You can also do moderate intensity. That'd be something like jogging, probably like harder bicycling. I would call like moderate intensity like just a little too hard to talk. Like you wouldn't be able to keep a conversation. I could be doing low intensity right now and having this conversation. I might be a little bit out of breath, like 120 beats per minute on the heart rate, and still be able to have a conversation. Moderate intensity, a little bit harder. I typically don't ever prescribe moderate intensity. It seems to burn calories just fast enough that it would potentially slow down your potential if you're trying to be a bodybuilder. Like you just don't see most bodybuilders jogging or running. It's just not on that extreme. So it depends. Again, you need to select this for your sport and for your goals. Now, some people like high intensity. High intensity is good, but high intensity is high intensity, and so there is a factor of recoverability that needs to be considered. If you're weight training 3 days a week, you're fine to add in on your off days a couple high intensity sessions. But if you're already training 5 or 6 days a week with weights, and then you're going to be doing some high intensity interval training, and by that I mean like all out sprint for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds, all out sprint for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds. Like you can't do high intensity really on a treadmill because you have to wait for the treadmill to get sped up. You could do it on a bike, might be able to do it on an elliptical, a rowing machine, but you can't do it everywhere or with everything. Like you can't do high intensity interval training on a stair climber. There's just no way to get the stairs up to that speed fast enough. So you just got to be careful with their recoverability there. So blanket general guidelines to everybody. Like if your coach has a guaranteed answer on exactly how much cardio everybody needs, the answer better be it depends. It's going to depend on the person, on the athlete. Very rare instances I will program somebody with no cardio, and it would be somebody like I had a client that worked for UPS, and he was getting consistently 25,000 steps a day. This man did not need any extra cardio on the side. He needed every ounce of recovery to be able to train and not be just killing himself doing, an hour on the stairs after walking 12 plus miles that day. Again, like I said, for beginners, for somebody in a bulking phase, we kind of keep the floor at 4 sessions of like 20 minutes a week. And then as far as prep goes, I've had prep clients doing 6 days a week of an hour or a little bit more, again, depends on the person. If you're a big bodybuilder like myself, you're going to burn calories faster while doing cardio, and the cardio is going to be more intense as far as how much it affects your recoverability. You're not going to be able to recover as much from me doing an hour on the stairs versus a 100-pound bikini competitor. So bikini competitors can be pushed harder. They can do longer sessions of cardio because they can just simply recover from it better. So for all those reasons, there's a lot of it depends. There's no cookie cutter answer for you, other than the fact that unless you're doing 25,000 steps a day, you should be doing some cardio. If you guys have questions, of course, DM me. If you're looking to work together, y'all know how to find me. This is a big part of health, is the cardio side. If you're on gear, if you are a bodybuilder, if you are larger than life, if you're like over 200 pounds, you need to be doing cardio for your heart health. It needs to be in year round. There's really no excuses, no reasons not to. Cardio's not that hard, guys. I know we all like to lift, but this is something that we need to do on the side to keep ourselves healthy. Think of cardio almost as like an oil change for your body. Like it's gonna keep everything flowing better. So if you got any questions, let me know. I know this was a quick one, and that's what she said. All right, that's all I got for you guys. I'm heading to the dentist. I'm gonna find out if I'm getting a crown today or not. And with that, I hope you have the absolute best day ever. Bodybuilding Vegan out.